you're calling in from. All right, well, good morning, STEM Core students. So happy for you all to be here this morning on another Friday this spring as part of our internship development series. So today we're extremely excited because we are joined by our STEM Core partners from Glidewell. Glidewell has actually been an advocate of our program and partnering with our campus at Santa Ana College for the last couple of years, but really wanting to share the opportunity across the network and partner with other campuses across the network and connect with students and interns. So today we are joined by the Glidewell team, and I'm going to turn it over to Anita Islas, who's going to kick us off. This session is being recorded, so if anything, you all will have the link after this, so you can watch back the recording and reference anything that we talk about. So please make sure that your microphone is muted. We'll have time at the end for you to unmute yourself if you have Q&A, but if anything comes up for you, feel free to put it in the chat and we'll be sure to address it as well. All right, so I will turn it over to Anita to get us started.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Cheryl, for the kind introduction. First and foremost, thanks to all the students and making some time today to get to learn about our company and the opportunities that we have for everybody. To begin, we'd also like to start with a few introductions with the people that are joining us from Glidewell as well. To begin, my name is Anita, and I'm the Digital Support Manager here at Glidewell. Bill, you want to go next? I think you're muted, Bill.
There we go.
There we go.
I'm Bill Black. I'm the tool and die maker here at Glidewell / Prismatic, and going to give any kind of information that I have to hopefully intrigue possibly some students to join our team and the job position that I have available.
Thanks, Bill.
You got it.
I'll go next. My name is Adrian McGowan. I'm here and I'm a product development engineer for Glidewell. Been here 8 years now.
Thanks, Adrian.
Hello, my name is Israel and I'm an electrical engineer here at Glidewell. I've been here for 2 years.
Hey everybody, sorry I don't have a camera, but I'm Andrew Reed. I'm the machine shop manager at Glidewell. We run a big job shop for the whole company to support all the automation projects and products that we sell, and run the fab shop for welding and fabrication, all kinds of sorts of good things. Thanks.
Thanks, Andrew.
And hi, everyone. I'm James Zamora, Senior Director of Engineering, and I'm just really grateful to have this opportunity to share. So, Anita, did you want me to start?
Please.
Were there more introductions here?
I think those were all unless I skipped someone, but I think those were all the introductions. So just to quickly go through the agenda, Bill and Andrew need to jump off for another commitment. So if you could just want to go ahead and do just a brief introduction, and then we can jump straight into Bill and Andrew's internship opportunities, and then we'll go back to the presentations of some of our current employees here at Glidewell and the information that they have to share regarding their career paths here. And then towards the end, I just wanted to show a little bit video so everybody could kind of see what the everyday life here as an internship looks like at Glidewell, and then answer any questions that we have from the students.
Okay, who's next? Am I up next?
Yeah, take it away.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so Glidewell is it's one of the world's largest producers of custom restorations in the dental industry. So that translates to meaning we make thousands of crowns and bridges, implants, mouth guards, sleep devices every day in our labs across the US and Latin America. And we've been doing that since 1970 when Jim Glidewell decided to open up his own lab in his garage. And today we've got 5,000 plus employees and made up of a lot of dental technicians in our laboratories. We've got mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, controls engineers. We've got machine building technicians in our hardware engineering department. And this team supports all of our internal automation projects and technology offerings. We've got electromechanical technicians on the maintenance team that Anita leads. And we have a software engineering department that's probably 150 plus employees. We have a formidable materials R&D team that develops advanced ceramics and polymers for restorations. And we have a large manufacturing operation where we make our own raw materials that emerge from the R&D team. And of course, Andrew's here. We have a really large machine shop that makes all of our parts that our mechanical engineers design, and he supports the manufacturing of some of the technology offerings that we offer our dentists. So, and so to touch on the technology that we sell to our customers, we have roughly 60 to 70,000 active dentists that we sell our restorations to. And we also sell these things, what's known as chairside milling machines. So if any of you have been to a dentist recently, you may have seen technology in your dentist's office, such as like 3D printers and milling machines. We make milling machines that we also sell to our dentists under a brand called Glidewell.io, which consists of an intraoral scanning machine. We have CAD/CAM software, the milling machine, as I said, that doctors buy from us. And this gives dentists the ability to provide a custom restoration to their patients within the same appointment. And so you can see we are referred to as a vertically integrated organization, meaning we create as much self-reliance as reasonable, right? Most dental labs, they do not operate this way. They might specialize in one thing and then outsource everything else. So another example, we have our own facilities team that takes care of our buildings and grounds. They build all of our furniture like desks and cabinets. They also have a design team with architects and interior designers that plan our workspaces. And as I've said, we have a large machine shop that makes all of our parts. We have our own restaurant that is open to the public. We have multiple cafeterias on campus. Our own medical clinic. We also have a gym, which is referred to as Glidewell Gym, kind of backwards, so Jim Glidewell. So the list just goes on. And one of the things I'm most proud of is our internship program. Year after year, we bring students from across the country, and in many cases from other countries, and they get to experience what it's like working among professionals and learning from mentors, working on interesting projects that truly have an impact on the business and our future. Now, we can't hire everyone, but we've picked up some really talented individuals from this program, which is critical for business continuity. So that's something that I'm really proud of. So that's about all I have to say. I'll pass it on to whoever's next. I think you wanted to let Bill and Andrew go next, right, Anita?
Yes, that's right.
I can go first.
Okay.
Yeah, so that big machine shop that James was talking about, that's what I manage. And we do have a lot of opportunities to come into a real trade here. So we have, a lot of CNC machines, milling machines, CNC lathes. And we started as about 10 years ago with a lot of R&D developing dental mills and automation products to support our industry. And as we evolve, we're coming out with products now that we sell. So now we're kind of retooling our machine shop into production mode to make high volume of parts. So now we're seeing big horizontal pallet mills and some robotics involved into how do we really optimize and be efficient at making high volume. So we still have the need for basic 3-axis machines for prototypes, and we make small runs of prototypes, and then that will be tested and by James's team and engineers. And then as we move into production, we really start scaling up. So we're sort of half now in that mode of I've been doing this about 10 years and as a sort of a machine building company, apart from the whole dental stuff that we do also. So now, yeah, we're trying to get creative on how do we find people. And here in Southern California, it's there's not a whole lot of machinists available. So that's why I thought I'd join this call to really get the word out there that we're looking for machinists, and we're looking to We can be an apprenticeship program. We can do, we're looking for skilled machinists and welders. So yeah, we're really just trying to find some people, and we do offer a good career path here. We do have a diversity of mills and lathes, and we have laser engraving. We're working into sheet metal, so some metal fabrication with benders and laser cutters. So we can start, at the basics. You can be on a bandsaw, and you can work into a mill, and you can work into a programming position. We're using Mastercam and Esprit here. So there's a lot of opportunities to, if we have some downtime, whether you can learn how to program on some spare time, or if I'm approached and say, hey, I really want to learn this one thing or whatever, we can work towards that goal to really develop your career path here. So yeah, I appreciate everyone's time.
All right, I'll go next. I'm Bill Black. I'm the tool and die maker here. I also part-time teach at a local community college here in Costa Mesa, Orange Coast College, and teach machine shop there as well. So Andrew and I are pretty much cut from the same cloth. We're all in the same shop. My discipline of machining is a little bit different as tool and die maker / plastic injection mold maker. And that is what one of my opportunities is here for an apprentice, which I'm excited about. It's the very first time it's going to be offered for any individual that might be interested. It's all machining, just like Andrew was saying. We got a very well established shop. My specialty is EDM, electrical discharge machining. We have both wire and sinker, and my background pretty much as a mold maker lends it to that. I brought a few little things along just to show. Here is one of the molds that we've built here that's in the process. It's kind of a larger tool, and there's been quite an undertaking here. This is one piece to a surgical kit. An injection mold is exactly that. It's a mold that comes together, plastic gets injected to it, and out comes your part. So we built the mold here from start to finish. Myself, along with Andrew and the team, all were able to accomplish that. There's still the lid that's in process, and there's another part that goes to that. So mold making is that. And I also brought another little show piece. Might be familiar with something like that. If you had braces and put your retainer and something like that, we sell this as a night guard snore apparatus or something. I brought a couple inserts as well, just to kind of show. So this is a piece of steel that has been obviously milled out and highly polished to form exactly what I just showed, the plastic part, just to kind of
Can you show that again? I can't see it in the camera. Can you raise it up a little bit higher?
Certainly.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Sorry about that.
There we
So
go.
you can see there's a mirror finish, and looking at it as the mold comes together, like I was saying, out comes your plastic part. That's a brief description of what we are doing here. It's precision machining, just as well as Andrew's team is as well. Just a little bit different approach. I also brought some die making stuff. We sell, I don't know if anybody can see that, another highly polished piece right there. That is going to be a shade tab for our gums, because this is the dental industry. We've done that as well for the teeth. There's a shade guide because everybody has different shade teeth and gums. That's something that I really worked hard on and came to fruition here. This is an electrode that I made on the wire EDM, set up in my sinker EDM to achieve that shape. I'm just touching bases briefly. I'm excited because there's an opening. It would really help me in the future to help build this shop, the mold making capabilities. And this really has been a really good place to work. And I think the future is just moving upward and things are good. So thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. And if anybody's interested, you got the best contact in the company, which is Anita.
Thank you, Bill. And thank you, Andrew. I know there may be some questions regarding these roles towards the end. And in case that Bill and Andrew are still not on the call, we're happy to collect those. We're happy to share more details on the specific job details of the role towards the end, or even after the call as well. And then we also have a few of our colleagues presenting a little bit about the projects that they get, they've had the pleasure of working on here at Glidewell, along with speaking a little bit about their career paths from technicians to engineers. So I'll let Israel and Adrian take that away.
So my name is Israel Mejia. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. I have a PowerPoint to show you guys. Okay. So can you guys see it right now? Yeah, all right.
Yes.
Go ahead and put it. All right, so I'm an electrical engineer here at Glidewell, and we're part of a pretty big team, honestly. It's all of us, that would include a digital support team. We're part of the engineering and technology team. So my career path here started in the digital support team. One of the role of this team is to basically maintain the equipment in all the facilities. This includes like scanners, 3D printers, CNC. It's tons of technology. It's really cool. It's never a boring day. You always have something new to work on. So some of the attributes you'd want for this role is like problem solving, troubleshooting, if you're technically inclined, if you like soldering, if you like troubleshooting, checking wires, using a multimeter, just maybe even, changing out parts for like mechanical parts, and just kind of like slowly troubleshooting a machine and just solving it. That's really cool. It's like solving a puzzle sometimes. So there's a lot of opportunity when in the digital support role. It's a great opportunity to slowly weave yourself into the industry, especially if you're not familiar with a lot of the things that are going on in the company. You can slowly grow, and you can learn about different departments, especially in digital support, since it's like you're kind of like maintain a lot of the equipment that's all around the whole company, not just one area. So you're not just stuck like in an engineering role. You would be stuck mostly, developing one project. But like it seems like in like digital support, you're more of a technician. You can go around and kind of like see what you like. You could go around the whole company and just kind of like learn. You'll learn to work with multiple teams and just coordinate with them to reach a common goal most of the time. You'll talk to managers from different teams, and you'll have different opportunities to work. I know in digital support, sometimes it's like maybe you'll work at a different facility. Like we have more than one Glidewell facility, so you can even travel a little bit. And one cool thing about digital support, since we're constantly innovating and have new technologies here at Glidewell, so you're always learning. So you're always developing yourself, even though you're just learning, you're just maintaining the machines, there's always something new to learn. So see, these are some of the technologies we use here. These are just like a couple pictures, and like CNC mills, 3D printers, different milling machines and like scanners. These machines are kind of cool to like, you'll tear them apart and you'll like learn how they work. And this will be this is a great insight on how to develop them later on. And you kind of learn how these technologies work once you break them apart and put them together and troubleshoot and fix them. And we're always keeping up with the latest trends. So we're constantly getting new machines. There's always a new machine to learn on. And then it just adds to your experience and knowledge. So my education was as an electrical engineer from Cal State Long Beach. I started off as at a community college. So, I spent like maybe like 3.5 years at a community college, and then another 3 years at Cal State Long Beach. And then I got hired by Glidewell Dental as starting off, of course, as a digital support. And through that, I learned a lot about the company, and I got familiar with everybody. I've worked alongside, James will be there no matter what. He'll be like around, and you get to work with all these people from the company. So like even Anita will be around, and you'll see like Adrian, even when we're in the same team, I would see him around. So you get really friendly and familiar with the people because you work with different teams. And so right now I'm like a electrical engineer. So right now we're working on fast mill development. My main focus is working on the fast mill, which is the product that James in-office mill that James was talking about earlier. We do a lot of testing, like motion controllers. We do like programming. I do a lot of Python programming for like simulation-based testing. And then we'll do like things like circuit design, but there's a ton of other things that we will do. Like there's a ton of projects. Depending on what's needed at the moment, we'll have different things to work on. So yeah, thank you. This is the end of my presentation.
Thank you, Israel.
All right, I'll go ahead and share my screen here once Israel frees up. Okay. All righty. Oops, go back here. All right, guys, hopefully you guys can all see that. Hello, my name's Adrian McGowan. I'm a product engineer, development engineer here at Glidewell. I've been here at Glidewell for roughly 8 years. And then before we get into the presentation, I just wanted to cover some talking points so just so you guys have a rough idea what we're going to cover. I'm going to talk a little bit about my own career path, and then I'll go ahead and talk about some projects and highlights that I've been a part of, and then I'll give you guys some closing thoughts and give you guys something to take home, some thoughts to take home and hopefully help you in your career. Okay, so my career path. First, I'd like to talk about that because it was a little bit unorthodox, but ultimately it ended up leading me to where I am. I started as a CNC operator. I'll just go through this real quick. I started as a CNC operator, and then I went to a CNC programmer. And then at the shop I was at, I was also a shop lead. And then shortly after that, I started here at Glidewell as a digital support technician, moved my way up to mechanical technician, and ultimately I'm a mechanical engineer now. Sorry, I'm going the wrong way here. Hit the wrong button. Okay, so as a CNC machinist, Andrew could add to this, I'm sure, but a lot of things that you have to do and you have to know, you have to be able to evaluate technical drawings, understand GD&T, and GD&T is an acronym for geometric dimensioning and tolerancing. Those are very important to know, so that way you can manufacture parts to a high standard and good quality. And then you have to be familiar with a wide array of measuring devices, micrometers, calipers, things of those that along those lines. You also have to have a good knowledge of different kinds of cutting tools and forming tools. And then ultimately, when you become a programmer, or even a good setup operator or machine operator, you have to be familiar with G and M code, which is the code that a lot of Fanuc-based controllers and CNC machines will actually run off of. So go to the next slide here. Some of the duties for digital support, Israel talked a lot about them. One of them is preventative maintenance. So you got, before any of the machines have any issues, these machines are on the production line. So we want to make sure that they're running at top shape at all times. So that way we can make sure we get the product out. And one way to do that is preventative maintenance. That could be cleaning the machine, that could be greasing rails, that could be, disassembling something and then putting it back together with new seals, bearings, whatever it may be. Then you're exposed to a lot of other things like mechanical and electrical components and on different machines like 3D printers and CNC machines. And then you must be, another thing is you must be efficient with hand and electrical tools like, drill guns, hammers, stuff like that, because you never know what you may need to do to solve an issue that you may be having. And then you have to have an understanding of mechanical assemblies, because that's very important, because when you're working on these machines, you want to have a good understanding of how things are working and how things are moving and interacting with one another. So then that way you can diagnose issues and problems. And then we also touch a little bit on robot programming, mainly like in robotic cells, teaching the positions and pickup points and things along those lines. And then for a mechanical technician, that was the next position that I took on after digital support. These duties include, you have to know blueprint reading, also GD&T. Those are very important, because when you're actually putting mechanical machines together, if something doesn't fit, you have to understand why they don't fit. And the only way to do that is by looking at the engineering drawings and then understanding what the drawing is trying to convey, and then the design intent behind the drawing as well. So then that way you can kind of diagnose and see if there's any issues. Also, being a mechanical technician, did a lot of wiring, plumbing, mechanical assemblies, and then also robotic programming. You get a little more in depth on that side of things as well, because we're not only just reteaching positions, we're actually coming up with the actual movement of the robot, trying to make it as efficient as possible, and trying to help push products out as fast as possible. Let's see here. And then now, as a product development engineer, I design new parts, create manufacturing drawings. We collaborate with other teams in different departments to bring products to life. We also do a lot of part prototyping. So before parts even go to manufacturing, sometimes we make them by hand. We use machinery that's available to us to make the first round of parts for testing. We work with outside vendors. That includes like sheet metal shops, other machining facilities, casting houses, all different kinds of different vendors that we would have to reach out to in order to get product, to be able to hand those products off to our assembly team that puts these machines together for the actual dentists and our customers. And then we also have to work with another part of our team called doc control. That's to help ensure proper tracking of the paperwork and make sure that everyone has the latest revision and everyone in all the different departments are on the same page, making the part how it should be and intended, right? So I wanted to talk a little bit about my career path, because it was a little bit different and unorthodox compared to those normal standards of people going to high school and then going directly into college. For myself, my career path started in my sophomore year in high school. Like many other high school students, I wasn't exactly sure which career path I wanted to take, but then that was when I was introduced into manufacturing and machining. After learning about all the possibilities in manufacturing, I decided to work towards my new ambition. And I did this by taking classes at a community college in the evenings after school. And before I knew it, I was on track to receive several CNC certificates before I even graduated high school. So I like to talk about this and bring this up in any opportunity I have, because a lot of people aren't aware of these classes that you're able to take in high school. You're able to do this through a program called Special Admit, where all you have to pay is your health fee and parking fee, and then you're eligible to get into these classes. And the reason I like to talk about that, not only because if you're not exactly sure what path you want to take, whether it's engineering or manufacturing or product development, it's really good to kind of get your hands dirty. I'm a big advocate about people going and working on machines and, working on machines and working with their hands, because that's where you're going to get a lot of the knowledge. Obviously books and information online are very important, but hands-on experience is what's going to set you apart from anyone else. So being able to, collaborate with companies like Glidewell is a huge advantage. And I recommend that everyone takes that seriously and, puts full effort into being able to get into these programs, because then you come into a job when you're ready and you have your degree, you're out of school, you say, hey, look, I was able to do this. I worked with my hands. I got this experience. That's huge. Right. But yeah, and then here are a couple like project highlights that I've worked on over the years. There's some design projects, like if we start at the top left, that was something that I had developed on early on. That was for a glue machine that James Zamora had actually designed. That was a curing station. So I collaborated with one of our electrical engineers, and he designed an LED board, and I designed a heat sink and a vessel to carry these LED boards and be able to cure this glue that we were in a certain process that we were trying to achieve. And then the very next picture to the right of that, that's an enclosure, a safety enclosure, actually for the same machine. My task was to ensure that we had all the safety precautions in the proper locations, and that we had accessibility to all the different workstations inside this automation cell, so that digital support and other technicians can come in and service the machines easily. And then directly adjacent to that one, we have this little fixture for another machine. The machine below it, that's a auto turn machine. This was a machine that one of the first machines that I built after joining the mechanical technician team and the automation team. But those two go hand in hand, because I designed it's called the boring bar fixture, and we use that to actually cut the jaws that were holding the material and to ensure concentricity between the gripping fixture and the machining fixture. So that was something that was cool and exciting. And then there's just some other random things that I have, sorry, hit the wrong button here. Been doing that all day. All right, come on. Other pictures, so of designs and stuff that I've worked on. One of my biggest accomplishments, I guess you could say, I collaborated with the automation team for that machining center that you see on the bottom next to the machine with the forklift, right in this area. I don't know if you could see my mouse, but if you can, this is a machining center that we're producing each one of these towers where you see a green LED. There's an individual milling machine. And this is what we consider a vending machine that holds all the material and distributes it via a robot into each one of those milling machines when it needs it. So I was a huge part in this and building this and bringing it into fruition. And it's been awesome to see the development of it from design to hitting the manufacturing floor, and the growth and even all the things that came after it was built. Yeah, so those are some different highlights and projects. And closing thoughts. I kind of wanted to give you guys something a little bit different. I wanted to kind of challenge you guys to strive to learn and grow. I challenge you guys to put all your fears aside and doubts aside. Always put in the time, and most importantly, focus on yourself. And positive self-talk is very important. By doing these things and putting hard work first, anything's possible. So I leave you with those guys with those words, and hope you enjoyed the presentation. Thank you. Escape here.
Thank you, Adrian. So I didn't have a presentation to share. And I think my introduction a little bit earlier on the call was a little too brief. So I'll backtrack again and introduce myself for those that were late. I am the manager for digital support, and I've been at Glidewell a little bit over 10 years now. And I am not an engineer myself, but a lot of my experience that I've gained has been here at Glidewell in my current and my previous role, and the many roles that I've held throughout my tenure here in the engineering department. I know Bill and Andrew already spoke a little bit about the career opportunities that they had available, so I wanted to touch base on the opportunity that I have on my team as well. So I know Adrian and both Adrian and Israel touched base on what it was like being, as part of the digital support team here on campus. And so essentially it is the same role, right? A digital support specialist, and the purpose of this role at high level, it is to repair and maintain all the digital equipment that we have on campus. You saw some of those equipment on both of their slides. But we support all type of automation that we have here on campus. We also support all CNC milling machines, 3D printers, scanners, CT scanners of all sorts. And so, as both Adrian and Israel also mentioned, you get the opportunity to be very hands-on, learn new things every day, and also, collaborate with a lot of other teams and learn from those as well. So I will share the job description that I have with Myra and Cheryl that I could share with you, and I'll be happy to answer any questions at the end. I know we're getting close to the Q&A part of the call, but before that, I just wanted to share a quick video for you guys to kind of see our facility and give just a quick snippet at what it's like being an intern here at Glidewell. So let me share my screen. Share sound is on.
When you first walk into Glidewell, what you are met with are people and an environment that just exudes energy, passion, the desire to learn, to mentor, and to truly create innovative technology solutions. you're looking for a place that is going to challenge you, that is going to be fast-paced, and that is going to give you the practical knowledge that you need in order to determine your career path, then we welcome you to be part of the Glidewell internship program.
All right. Well, that was just a quick sneak peek into our operations here at Glidewell and a lot of the cool things that we get to work on every day. If any of my colleagues don't have anything else to add, I think we are ready to open this up for Q&A.
And there's actually some questions in the chat box. I can go back to one of the first ones, Anita. This one said, hello, I wanted to ask if the company has opportunities for bioengineering majors.
I think the first one that came in was there were opportunities.
Uh-oh, you're cutting off.
I'm sorry, you're cutting off a little bit.
Well, I know the first one, I believe it said, yeah, if the company has opportunities for bioengineering majors.
Not in our department directly. James, do you know of any other teams that could potentially have a better fit for a bioengineering major?
I mean, I don't know of any currently, but you know, we do have a materials R&D team, and I know we've talked about having some interest in wanting to do some research in this sector. So, you know, we could find out, we can talk to the right people and see if this is something that's still ongoing.
Okay.
Like,
Um,
can I just add one thing, James, if that's okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
I just wanted to say that
I didn't know you were here, Fernando.
So yes, I'm Fernando, electrical engineering manager. But I think like within, I could just kind of say that within our team, how it's like on the engineering side, how it's structured is kind of like electrical / controls, which does like electrical engineering work, and then some programming, excuse me, and then mechanical engineers that do all the mechanical work. And I know, yeah, biomedical engineering is a newer discipline, and so you know it doesn't, like, even if you go to most companies, they structure it kind of the same way, where you end up picking up kind of a mechanical engineering role or electrical engineering role. We don't have that kind of category within our department, but we do some product development that maybe could be considered like medical devices potentially, right? So, or at least it's close, like the chair side mill, for example, that we make. That's not a medical device, but we do like materials that are medical devices that go through the 510, like a 10K, like, and they're regulated by the FDA, where, you know, biomedical engineering would be more familiar with, and like it'd be an advantage. But there could be potential possibility in the future, but like it's not structured that way, our department.
This would be a good question for our dentists that we have on staff. So we have 5 or 6 actual dentists. We actually have our own operatory, and they do work with our employees. So a lot of our employees get some of our restorations, and so that there could be some potential with biomedical stuff there, because we're interested in wanting to have early detection through some of the technologies that we offer, to understand if we can provide a service to our dentists, or some technology to our doctors that gives them the ability to have some early detection of issues with their patients, right? And so that will require some talent in that particular sector. So
neat.
Yeah.
Thank you. This next question I saw may have been for, I think his name was Jim.
Bill?
Bill, just kidding.
Yeah,
Bill,
I think it was
sorry.
regarding injection molding. Definitely not my area of expertise. If any of my colleagues feel comfortable taking that question, please go ahead.
What
So
was
the
que-
question was, it appears
Oh.
that you machine and print the molds and then do the injection. Does this speed up the process?
I go ahead and answer this one. So in our injection molding area, what Bill was talking about, they don't actually print the mold. What will happen a lot of times is they'll actually make, I guess, for lack of better words, a die, right? So they use a special material and they'll machine that die out of that material. And then by using the sinker, it's an electrode, excuse me. So they machine this electrode into whatever shape they want, and then they take it to the actual wire, or not plun, or sorry, the EDM machine, and then that will actually use that electrode and burn it into the metal itself. So when he was showing the two pieces earlier, one of them had the shape cut out of it. That was the electrode, and that will actually be driven into the metal part to remove the material where and leave that in that shape in the actual metal. And then after that, then they go ahead and do injection molding after they've finished making the die itself. So what he was showing us earlier was actually just some of the machining process that is entailed in actually making some of the dies or some of the other fixturing and tooling and stuff.
Thanks, Adrian.
Yeah, sorry if that was a little complicated to answer.
No, thank you.
I'm not sure if they were trying to ask if injection molding is a fast process or something, but that's how you do high volume parts. It just as because all that tooling is expensive, but then after, if you have high volume, you can make parts for very cheap. That's I don't know if the question was about injection molding also. So just wanted to add that in case.
Correct me if
you
I'm
know.
wrong, but I think it was they were asking if the parts are printed then.
Oh, okay. Maybe you're
Yeah,
right.
And then
printed
do the
first.
injection. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, when it comes to our process, we don't really do any printing, and that would be more of like a casting situation where you would actually 3D print a part, and then you would cast it from that 3D printed part.
Thank you so much. Looks like there's another question that said, what other industries does Glidewell service or plan on servicing besides the dental industry?
That's a question that we think about and our executive team thinks about all the time. So it's not easy to migrate or try to start servicing a new industry. Sometimes companies through their development efforts, through their internal development effort, because of their vertical integration, they will find opportunities to use the talents that they have and monetize it in some way. So as an example, the auto industry, for example, right? When back in the heyday, when a lot of those assembly lines were being created by the internal employees, things like robots, right? They would build their own robots. And so then you'd have all these robot spin-offs, right? That would get generated. One example is a company called Denso, right? That's an actual robot company that started within the automotive industry by, I don't know if it was General Motors or Ford, I don't remember which one, but that's a good example of that. So there's potential. We built our own CT scanner, right? We are actually actively trying to see if there's market interest in our CT scanner. It's mostly targeted for dental, right? So we take these things right here. These are impressions, right? And these get mailed to us by the thousands every single day. So if any of you have actually had an impression taken of your mouth, we actually get these mailed to us. So the old-fashioned way of doing it, and it's still a prominent way, is we'll take that impression and we'll create something like this, which is a stone model, right? We'll create a stone model of that impression. But we designed an actual CT scanner so we can skip this process. We don't have to create these stone models. We can actually CT scan this directly and create a digital 3-dimensional model from this. And then from there, we have all of the anatomy and the geometry that we need in order to design a crown, right? a bridge or, you know, an implant or whatever it is. And so we designed and built the CT scanner in-house ourselves, and for our own internal use, right, to make our process more efficient. But you know, we're thinking maybe there's potential out there to actually be able to sell this to others who might be interested, and perhaps even so to companies outside of dental that do other types of inspection that need to see the inside of parts that they create. So you know, we're always trying to keep an eye out for potential to monetize some of our talents in other ways. Although we don't necessarily have hard plans, right? There's lots of examples of, you know, 3M is a company, extremely large company that does all kinds of things. And they started out small, probably doing just one thing, and they just kept growing. So I predict that Glidewell is just going to continue to do the same thing. And I'm sure there will be other things that we can use our talents to monetize and develop other products and get into other industries.
Thank you, James.
Mhm.
Looks like the next question is, where are the possible intern sites and are there any in the Bay Area?
Sure, I can help answer that, Myra. And I see there is a few other questions regarding different types of like majors and opportunities there. So I can kind of touch base on all of those. For Bill and Andrew's role, which is specific to tool and die maker, and also for machinist, those are only here on campus, which we're located in Irvine. That's where our machine shop is today. For my role, we're a little bit more flexible as I have direct reports in multiple other areas in other states. So I mentioned this before in previous conversations that we have staff in Memphis, in Kentucky, in Las Vegas, in Latin America, and then here. Unfortunately, the closest lab to the Bay Area would be here in Irvine, in Newport Beach, California. And there are other questions regarding computer science majors, right? Software engineering roles. James, did you want to touch base on perhaps if there are any of those fit with like maybe perhaps Bobic or Canal's team? Are those?
Well, for Glidewell in general,
Yeah.
We have a really large software team.
That's right.
Yeah, and so they're comprised of a lot of IT folks. We have a CAD/CAM team, which you know, helps develop and maintain the CAD/CAM platforms that we also offer our customers and we use internally. There's you know, a big software development team that works on machine learning and artificial intelligence. And you know, we obviously need to have an internal team that maintains all of the different software platforms that we use within Glidewell. So it's a, I don't know the exact numbers, but I'm going to assume we have 150 to 200 plus people working in this area of expertise within Glidewell.
Yeah.
So
and
definitely there are opportunities for computer science and software engineering roles.
And it goes from firmware development, like a low level to on hardware, all the way up to like any level of abstraction with different types of technologies, including like working with AWS services.
That's right.
Cloud computing and C# desktop applications, mobile apps, any probably software that you can think of. There's probably a role within Glidewell that's doing that kind of work.
Yeah. But personally, we can't speak on those departments. I don't know what roles they have open. You're welcome to check our website, glidewelldental.com, for job opportunities. And also, I know there is a general internship application that is available year round. And the recruitment team would reach out to you if you apply through the Glidewell website for any other departments or areas.
I had a quick question, Anita. For students who are interested in wanting to intern with you all, what are maybe some top characteristics or skill set that you look for in a strong intern candidate?
Sure. For my role in specific, definitely some hands-on experience, being able to use some tools. I think also being a very team-minded, right? Have an individual being able to work with team members, communicate efficiently, and also have strong listening skills. But overall, I think it really just comes down to the character of the individual being positive, been wanting, want to learn. But as far as like technical skills, I would say the basics would be just learning and knowing how to use tools, so hand and power tools.
Ooh, thank you for that. And one last question. What would you say, especially you as someone who interviews a lot of the interns and even individuals applying for jobs outside of internships, what is something that you take notice in the interview process with, well, particularly with student interns?
Would I take notice? So
Like as maybe
what was
some
that?
tips.
Some
Maybe
tips, some
some tips.
interview tips.
Yeah.
You definitely want to dress professional. I don't know if it's perhaps because of if we're such a casual environment, but we do get a lot, especially students who apply for internships that come in and they're very, very casual. But regardless of the type of work that we're doing, even if we're getting our hands dirty, it is a very professional environment. And I think that is my number one thing, right? It's your first impression. You need to look sharp, act professional. So that I think that is a big one.
Thank you for that. I appreciate
Did anyone
it.
else want to add any other tips for the students?
Actually, I would, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think one big thing and that you see across Glidewell from the top down is everyone's open to help each other out, no matter how small the task is. No one around here really has that mentality of, oh, that's not my job description. We're here to help each other. We're here to, do anything it takes. Even if that means, mopping the floors or whatever it has to do. We're here to make everyone's lives easier and work as a team. So I think that's huge, and having a good positive attitude towards work in general and helping one another is going to put you leaps and bounds ahead of a lot of other people.
Yeah, so I think the good attitude part is a big key as well. So, if you're coming for an interview or if you're talking to any, hiring managers, you want to make sure that you bring positivity and that you actually show interest, right?
Right.
Sometimes, we get candidates that come in here and they applied for the job, but then they just don't come in with that much enthusiasm. And, I have a low key personality, so I get that some people are just like that, but I think it's important that you find, ways to sort of express your interest in actually wanting to come to work, right? And wanting to get things done. So.
I love that. Thank you so much, everyone. Cheryl, do you want to hop in?
So I see Sophia had a question. I think I don't want to
Sorry.
skip her. Asking about data science majors. So that's a very intuitive, like a great question about imagining there's lots of data produced, and there it is. We have lots of data that we produce here at Glidewell. It's actually a very important commodity for us. It's how it's one of the ways that it's one of the things that we realize that we have that we're trying to harness so that we have lots of visibility into how our business is performing, whether it's machines on the floor, machines we deploy, or even how the lab is performing in terms of throughput, et cetera, et cetera. So data is a huge commodity for us. And so we do have data science folks, and many of them work with our, machine learning and artificial intelligence folks. So I don't know if we actually have open positions at the time, but I'm sure that there'll be internship opportunities. So it's something that's really important to us. So.
Thank you so much. And I think we're at our end. Cheryl, did you want to say anything?
Hey, everybody, I'm sorry, my internet's a bit unstable. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, you're good.
Okay. No, I was just noting that, I'm not sure if this got across before, but for STEM core students who have already applied to the application, we will be connecting students to Glidewell opportunities as well. But if you're still planning an interview through the STEM core program, just obviously talk to you and note interest in opportunities with Glidewell. And also what I'll make sure to do is when we share the link of this recording, we'll also share links, Anita, that you've already shared with us for students to apply directly to Glidewell as well, for those who are interested. But I think we're at just past the hour. So a huge thank you to our guests today for taking the time to speak with our students and spend some of your Friday sharing some of your insight and experiences. We definitely appreciate it. So I don't think there are any further questions from our students. So again, students, thanks for being here. We'll be sure to share the recording and let you know of opportunities coming up in the coming weeks for you to attend as well. All right, thanks so much, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, everyone.